Hi, this is Frank Radice, continuing our series on the future of content with Marianne Halford, who is the managing director of FTI Consulting. Tell me a little bit about FTI.
Well, we are a very large consulting firm. We're actually about a $2 billion valuation. We have over $1.7 billion in revenues. Basically, if you were to sum up what FTI does, is that we are focused on helping our clients, which are global in nature, in all facets of industry, manage change in order to build enterprise value. That is pure and simple what we focus on. Now, we have a number of different groups that work at helping people do that. We have a technology group, we have a forensic litigation consulting group, we have an economic consulting group, we have a corporate finance group, which I am part of, and I focus on building our performance improvement practice as it relates to broadcasters in the media and entertainment business.
Let's talk specifically about that. Now, in order to increase positive performance in broadcasting, you need to be aware of what's going on in the overall atmosphere of broadcasting. It's more than that nowadays. There's a future.
Totally.
So tell me a little bit about
Totally. Well, it's very interesting. People in the broadcast industry have their feet planted in two different worlds. And one world operates completely differently than the foot in the other world. And you have a lot of people that are managing this that are struggling because most of the money is still being made on the traditional side of the house. But the digital side is beginning to chip away. And how do you manage that? How do you prepare for it? How do you train people effectively to do it? Now, internationally, it's a little bit more interesting because what you have are terrestrial broadcasters that are who basically are dominant in their countries, and then they're able to access digital platforms for additional incremental distribution of their content. In the U.S., when I work with television broadcasters, their digital practice is really, what are they doing with their websites? Can they be doing more in the way of video? And none of them, and I've been working with a number of U.S. broadcasters, none of them have really tapped into what the power is of mobile news distribution. And quite frankly, I do believe for terrestrial broadcasters in the United States. Now, again, that's getting out of the network side of the equation. Networks are a little bit different. But just dealing with your bread and butter network affiliates around the country, they have not really fully focused on how to build for a digital future.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that, is it because of the monetization? Is that the only reason? Or is it because this is so new? And it isn't so new anymore either.
No, it's not, but I think there are a couple of things. One, right now, the big revenue push for U.S. broadcasters, they have been making a ton of money off of two new revenue streams. One is called political revenues, something that happens every 2 years in the United States, and it's a great windfall. And the other is retrans. And the public painfully became aware of what retrans is really about, particularly you live in New York and Los Angeles in recent months, as CBS and Time Warner battled it out. So I think they're focusing a lot on managing that, and they don't have access to programming rights for the network programming so that they can do some really powerful things on the digital front. But they do have power in their news franchises. And if they ever hope to have a loyal, younger audience, they do have to figure out what to do in monetizing that. And I haven't seen anybody really figure that out yet or crack that nut.